Who'll you vote next in BFDI? The viewers voted on several questions spanning both upcoming episodes, and now it is time to see the results. I received 1,359 responses. Less than last time, but that's perfectly okay because that is still a lot. Like every other time, we are starting with the next BFDIA episode, BFDIA 16. First, I will reveal which of the 6 contestants who lost in BFDIA 15 got the most likes in the poll. I can't really say that I'm terribly surprised about this outcome. It seems to be reflective of the tentative voting results. Tennis Ball also had the least dislikes, with just 198 of the poll respondents disliking him. The second lowest dislikes is Needle, as she only had 237 dislikes in the poll. Book isn't far behind with just 298, exactly 100 more than Tennis Ball. Nickel experienced a fairly sizable jump in votes from Book, but with 432 dislikes, he is not the lowest in this poll. That would be Bommy, who has 705 dislikes from poll respondents, making him one of the only 2 to have the dislikes outnumber the likes. Next up, I asked who the viewers believed to be the most to least likely to be up for elimination in the next episode. I did this by having them score each contestant 1 to 5, with 1 meaning they are less likely to lose, and 5 meaning they are more likely. In order to get a usable result, it took the number of responses for each score 1 to 5 multiplied by the respective number 1 to 5, and added it together, then divided it all by 1,359, the total amount of responses. As an example, if there were 69 votes for a score of 1, 810 for 2, 49 for 3, 92 for 4, and 339 for 5, 810 would be multiplied by 2, 49 by 3, 92 by 4, and 339 by 5. The 5 numbers would then be added together and divided by 1,359 to get a final score of 2.87 out of 5. By this method, Book ranked the least likely to be up for elimination with a score of just 2.28 out of 5. In 8th is Tennis Ball with a score of 2.36 out of 5. In 7th is Needle with a score of 2.56 out of 5. In 6th is Pin with a score of 2.74 out of 5. In 5th is Coiny with a score of 3.01 out of 5, the first to be more likely to be considered at risk than to be considered safe. In 4th is Nickel with a score of 3.17 out of 5. In 3rd is Fries with a score of 3.47 out of 5. With a 3.53 out of 5, Bommy had the second highest score. And Pencil is considered the most likely to be up for elimination next, with a score of 3.67 out of 5. However, all 9 will be placed at stake for the next 2 questions, the likes and dislikes for BFDIA 16. I held this one slightly differently this time, where you choose whether you are more likely to like or dislike each contestant. Here are all the likes. Needle actually ended up barely defeating Tennis Ball here by just a 3-vote difference. Coiny was also semi-competitive. Due to how I conducted this section of the poll, this does mean the dislikes are the remainder of the 1,359 votes not accounted for by each contestant's likes. For the rejoin question, I once again featured everyone who I believe would be eligible to join, those being everyone eliminated since BFDIA 7 along with Flower, Bubble, Leafy, and Woody. Flower was the least voted, getting even less this time with just 28 votes. Also not rejoining are Yellowface with 45 votes, Rocky with 58, Ice Cube with 60, Leafy with 74, or Woody with 90. Up next in terms of not coming back to the game are Fiery, who has 101 votes, and Ruby, who has 115 votes. After them is Spongy, who has 133 votes. We now end up with the same final three as last time: Bubble, Gelatin, and Golf Ball. Also like last time, Gelatin is the lowest of them with 194 votes, and Golf Ball got 214 votes, which means that with 247 votes, Bubble would get to join the game. Next we move on to Teapot, and first I asked who you voted in Teapot 13. First up is Team 2 since they did worse in the challenge. With 293 votes, Book had the highest total on this team. Eraser and Snowball also had clear differences from one another, with 270 and 243 votes respectively. The other three is where things get a lot more unclear. Grassy has the least in the poll by a long shot, but he never does this poorly in the actual episode, and I can't really see that starting now. What's more is Ice Cube and Price Tag are close together, so it will likely be one of them who goes. As for Death Pact yet again, Fanny got the most votes, followed by Robot Flower, which really isn't that big of a surprise. What is that Pin is not in the top two. She isn't in the next two either, as Tree and Gady follow very closely together, at 197 and 195 votes respectively. This leaves Marker, Pin, and Black Hole in the bottom three, and two of them are very close together. Marker with 167 votes and Pin with 162 votes are both safe, and with just 145 votes, Black Hole is out. The final question for this section is which teams you all predicted would lose next time. Death Pact yet again was the most commonly selected response again, though it didn't have as commanding of a lead this time. Bagged is also more voted than CloudYAY in this instance. Now for who you will vote on each team, starting with... When this team loses a second time, they will be down to just 5 members. We don't know who the first to leave will be though. Let's just get into the votes. As expected, Fanny has the most votes again, coincidentally getting the same amount as Pin did in the last poll at 271 votes. Gady and Tree come next with very close vote totals to one another at 214 votes and 211 votes respectively. After them are Pin and Marker with 184 and 179 votes respectively. This leaves us with Black Hole and Robot Flower for the bottom two. Robot Flower has just 138 votes. Even though Black Hole is safe here with 162 votes, if the previous Death Pact yet again question is fully accurate, he's getting out anyways. Team 2 are the second team to be named, so they will also be the second team to be covered here. Who got the most votes and who got the least? Just like in the last poll and in the other Team 2 question, Book is the first one to be safe. At this point, it is hardly a surprise. Unlike in the other poll and the other question, however, Eraser is not too far behind Book, as he has 281 votes. Snowball comes next with 247 votes. Out of Taggy, Grassy, and Ice Cube, and just like last time, Grassy has the fewest votes. I'll be surprised if this actually ends up being correct, however, as these polls tend to not do very well at capturing grassy voters. One of the two teams to receive a debuter from the exit. It's bagged, as the notes spell out. This should be interesting. Not only was Lite the first one safe, she was the first one safe by a lot, getting 351 votes. Tennis Ball and Bottle were next, but they were nearly 100 votes lower than her. Pen is next with another considerable drop, this time to 199 votes, which means it is now down to basketball and TV. At this point, it's not much of a surprise that TV has the least votes, though it is very doubtful that he will actually be this low, just like with Grassy. And now, it's the turn of the other team to receive a debuter. Which of them would my viewers most want to go home? Let's find out! Like with Bag, the debuter got the most votes, and it wasn't particularly close, but it also wasn't quite as lopsided either. Pencil had 328 votes, and Golf Ball had 264. The other four were all very close together, starting with Yellowface, who had 199 votes, then Donut, who had 193 votes, and then Winner and Pillow are separated by just 3 votes. If any team is likely to get into a vote war, it seems it would certainly be this one. Now we have the rejoin, and there are 20 up for voting. Clock is the lowest again, this time with just 9 votes. Barf, Bag, Bell, Naily, and Foley all also have under 20 votes. Eggy, Rocky, Bommy, Pie, and Saw have under 50 votes as well. Now only half of them are left. 10th voted is Cake with 54 votes. 9th is Cloudy with 57 votes. 8th is Nickel with 65 votes. 7th is Needle with 73 votes. Coiny is 6th, but he sees a big jump in votes with 115. In 5th is Teardrop with 120 votes. Lightning gets 4th with 128 votes. And Fries and Puffball are close together, but with 133 votes and 138 votes respectively, that means Remote has the most votes with 223 votes. Last up are the debuters. Most of them didn't get very many votes, but unlike last time, 2 of them did fall into the single digits. The ones with single digits are Shampoo and Scissors with just 9 votes each. Also below 30 votes are Leak, Camera, Kitchen Sink, Disky, 9Ball, Blender, Income Tax Return Document, Onigiri, VHSE, Salt Lamp, Boom Mic, Clapboard, and Tape. Above 30 votes, but below 100 votes, are Snare Drum, Conch Shell, Avocado, Battery, and Anchor in that order, with their votes being shown on screen currently. The final 4 is exactly the same as last time, and all 4 have at least 100 votes. However, Shopping Cart has the least votes with exactly 100. Non-Existy is also 3rd place again, this time with 143 votes. Which out of the final 2 have the most votes, however? It is PDA again, and unlike last time, it is not even close. PDA has a staggering 339 votes, while a rubber spatula only has a solid 208 votes. Thanks for participating in this video. Stay tuned for any future voting polls, and make sure to subscribe with notifications on.